All right, hey folks, this is Lens, also known as Audible Agent. In this video, I'm going to be picking this ASSA 6000 with barrel drivers. It's going to be a little bit of a long pick. These barrels require a lot of back and forth, both in the first phase of getting them into the milling, but even after that, when you're trying to set them, the pins like to fall down a lot, and it's also pretty difficult for me, at least, to make sure that I'm on the right pin without comparing what I'm feeling to the other pins. And even then, towards the end, going through and making sure the entire top pin stack is fully set before I move on to the sidebar just takes a lot of time, mainly because you're revisiting pins over and over again, either because they fell or you're just not certain it's the right pin to pick. This lock is ranked as an easier black belt lock than the ASSA 6000 with gins, at least according to the LPU ranking system. I personally disagree with that, and that's no offense or no jab at whoever made those decisions. I just find that the barrels are more difficult for me. I've talked to other people who feel similarly, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. I'm just not sure what that reason is. But, barrels, as I understand it, are the newer technology from ASSA and the types of drivers that they use these days, and gins are the older model. So I think that suggests they're supposed to be harder, and in my opinion, they definitely are. That being said, this took me about 3 weeks to learn, and that was freshly coming off of the ASSA 6000 with gins. So I think the sidebar was relatively easy for me this time around. The barrels, not so much. Even when I thought I understood what I was feeling from the pin states, it was not correct. And that issue was compounded by the fact that, excuse me, I thought I could pick this counterclockwise like I did the 6000 with gins. And I was hoping that, I could get the barrels into the milling, do the sidebar, then come back to the barrels and finish them off. And that was how I trained. And only at the end, when I put all the components together, did I realize that this lock does not isolate like that in that direction. So had to start over, learn to pick it clockwise, which makes the side pins bind a little bit harder. And as a result, had to use, a second tensioner for that phase and truly control the rotation of the core. The binding order was reversed once I switched to clockwise tensioning. So yeah, it was just a bit of a challenge. And, it's a difficult lock. And if I'm honest, I didn't really have fun with it like I did with the 6000 gins. I think I just don't like barrels very much, and I'm still kind of learning to read them, but definitely made a lot of progress. And I think, the fact that I can pick this shows that that's true. So yeah, like I said, this is going to be a bit of a longer video. I am going to use this video for my eventual black belt request. Tools I'm using: 19 thousandths Jimmy Long's flat hooks. I've got a medium and a deep hook here. Got a couple tension wrenches strapped together for top of the keyway. This is my secondary tensioner for when I'm picking the sidebar and need to float a little bit better, and using this flag for the side pins. So yeah, again, long video. I will leave the timestamps in the description, and you should be able to easily navigate between the different parts of the video. The gutting is very long too. I was very detailed and thorough. So yeah, with that, I hope you enjoy this video. I will still do a follow-up video on the 6000 with gins, just focused on the gin drivers, because I think there were a lot of things I learned from that I'd like to share. And of course, I'll try to do a deep dive for the barrels as well. So here we go. Okay, this is the ASSA 6000 in barrels. Here's the key. Actually, I'll show that a little bit better. Top the keyway tension. Going to pick this in 3 phases. Get the barrels into the milling to get a small false set. Try to fully set the barrels, then pick the sidebar. Probably won't talk too much. I've been trying to film this multiple times now. Just want to get it done. So just going to go between binding pins, move them up slowly, little by little, inch them up until I get them into the milling. Apparently these act like tapered pins. I don't have experience with tapered pins, but maybe this is giving me some training for that. I'm avoiding pins 3 and 6 because they don't bind early and they're low lift. So just working my way up slowly. That was pin 4. Sounded like it got into the milling. Pin 5. Even when I think I've got them in the milling, I revisit them and give them a little jiggle because they can still fall down a little bit, or they might not be seated in the milling all the way. So just keep going back and forth, looking for either a distinctive false set or for pin 4 to start binding again. Okay, I felt a little bit of a movement on the plug, but pin 4 is not bound yet, so. Okay, that was pin 1. This is pin 2. Okay, feels like pin 4 is binding now. I'm just going to check 1 and 2 again, jiggle them. 3, 4, 5, leave 6 alone. 1, 2. Okay, pin 4 now. So now we're in, I think, the second phase. I'm just gonna bounce on the pin that's binding the hardest. Let off tension, try to get a click out of it. And if I'm unsure that a pin is truly bound and has no movement, I'll compare it to the other pins. And this is the game, just doing this over and over again, back and forth, slowly making progress. Pin 2. Still pin 2. And I quite often lose my false set, so usually have to go and touch the other pins and get it back. Pin 4. Still pin 4. Still pin 4. Okay. That was pin 3, little click. Okay, pin 4 had to move up just a little bit more and I got a deeper false set. Okay, I think pin 1 is binding hard now. Okay, got a click out of it. Another thing I'm looking for to let me know I'm on the right binding pin is when I'm bouncing on it and when I let off enough tension, the plug will move kind of up and down as I'm bouncing inside the housing. And that's the pin hitting the milling, telling you it's not quite escaped the plug yet. So, you know, it still has to move up a little bit further. Okay, I think pin 5 is binding now. I'm just gonna double check others. 2, 3, 4. Okay, yep, pin 5. Okay, a little bit of a click out of it. 1, 2 feels, let's see. think pin 2 is the one. I'm going to look for the plug to bounce a little bit as I let off tension. If I don't see it, then I'll just move on to something else. It's still pin 5. Okay, another little click. Yeah, see now pin 2 is freed up, so I think that was the right move. I think it still might be pin 5. Yep, I can see the plug moving around, jostling a little bit in the housing. I think I got a click out of it. 3, 4, fell down a little bit again. 5 feels loose, and I think we're finally to the point where 6 is binding. Okay, I can't tell if that was me slipping off or not. Yeah, I think 6 is still binding, and I'm slipping off of it, so let's see if we can get under it better. Oh, little movement on the core. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it the right hook? Let's see. Yep, my medium. Just making sure 6 is very low, so okay, I think it's still 6. Get under it. Bounce. See the plug moving. Okay, lost my false set, but we'll recover it. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5. 5 fell pretty far down. 1, 2. When I lose my false set like this, I'm not I'm testing the pins, but I'm not applying a ton of pressure because there's usually one that just needs to move up a tiny little bit. I gotta find it. 1, 2, 3. Trying to get under 4. 5. Not sure what's holding this up right now, unless I've got the top picked. Let's see. 1 feels jiggly. 2 feels jiggly. 3 does not. I'm going to go after 3. Okay. Little click. I think I recovered a bit more of the false set. 4 feels like it's all the way down. 1, 2. Definitely some jiggle in 3. 4 feels jiggly. 5 is bound. Okay, 1 click. Another click, unless that was me slipping off. Still 5. I can feel the plug moving. I can kind of see it. Yep, okay. 1, 2. I think we lost our false set again. Let's see if we can get it back. Okay, 4's down. One click. Still pin 4. Still pin 4. Okay. 5 dropped again. Let's just check others. 1, 2, 3, little click. 4 is loose. 5. Got a click out of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, gave me a dirty click. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Might be 4. Okay, let's see. Click out of 4, click out of 5, got some movement. All right, maybe we got this picked. Double check. 1, 2, 3 does not feel jiggly. Okay, lost the false set again. 1, 2, 3, pin 4, pin 5, pin 6, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Oh, I think that was pin 2. I was jostling and got some movement. 3, 4. Okay, I think pin 5 fell down again. Don't know if I just slipped off or what. Let's see. 1, 2, 3 is jiggly. 4. Going after pin 5. Back and forth we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We might be picked on the top, but I don't know. It doesn't feel quite right to me. 3, 4. I mean, everything's passing the... Oh, there it is. That was why. Pin 4 had a little bit more to go, so I think maybe now we've got the top picked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yeah, okay. I think we can move on to the side. 14 minutes just to get the top pins. What a pain. All right, going to use a second tensioner. Just going to go after it. So pin 1, I'm expecting 1 click. Pin 2, 2 clicks. Pin 3, 3 clicks. Pin 4, 3 clicks. Pin 5, 2 clicks. I may drop something, but I'll go back and revisit it, and then I'll bounce on the pins and just try to get the open. So 1, 2, 3's not binding, so I think I need to wiggle 1 or 2. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 is still not binding, so maybe I still have some work up top to do. Yeah, let's double check. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that feels okay to me. So what's holding us back here? Let's see if I can reset those pins on the side. Pin 1, pin 2. There we go. 3 clicks, pin 4. 3 clicks. Oop. Tries to go into a deeper falset, and I try to avoid that because it makes it really hard to get pin 5. 2, 5. Okay, 2 clicks out of pin 5. Pin 4 dropped 1. Got it back up. I'm expecting one more minor click out of pin 5. 2, 3, 4. Maybe it's good. Let's jiggle some pins and see if we can get this open. Okay, I think pin 5 fell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if I can move it up a little bit more. Nope. 1, 2, 3. Man, I think stuff fell, so let's start over. I think 1 is still in position. 1, 2 for pin 2. 3, pin 4. Something fell hard. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that was pin 4. Pin 5. I think we're just about there. Yep, there we go. Okay, let's see. $18, not the fastest pick. It's okay, let's get this. Okay. Get it out of the housing. We can see the tailpiece. Locked it back up. All right, to start, let's get the pinning tray in here. Excuse me. Okay, so this has knurled nut and a little spring-loaded pin. Spring-loaded pin needs to be pressed down as you back the nut off. Did I have a better Allen wrench I was using for this? This is fine. Just pressing that pin down. Slowly unscrewing the back of this. Also try not to let the pin go flying across the room. Okay, slowly let off pressure. Let's move this shim out of the way. I am shaky, I need to eat something. Haven't had my breakfast yet. Okay, let's see. Let's get a key in and get a shim in the back. Let's move this over. There we go. Shim. Shim is in rough shape. Wiggle it back and forth, get it under these barrels that like to snag on everything. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, let's get the sidebar out first. I'll show a close-up of that later. Get the springs out. Okay, let's get the top pins out next. Or sorry, the key pins, not the top pins. I guess they are the top pins relative to the side pins. Okay, and let's get the side pins out now. Pin 1. 2, 3, 4, 5. I dump out the springs. Okay. Let's see. Before I do a close-up of the plug, let's go ahead and get the barrels out in case I screw up that part of the gutting. So, I'm gonna get this shim out of the way. Let's turn on the light. And let's see, let's start from chamber 1. Let's rotate. Okay. Chamber 2. Chamber 3. Let's see. Get these springs out of here. Flip it around. Actually, I'm going to get another follower for this part. Let's see. I think this is the one. Okay. All right. Chamber 6. Chamber 5. And lastly, chamber 4. Okay, let's dump the remaining springs out and quickly show. Let's see, actually, I think the lighting on there is good. See the sidebar groove? You can also see how much I've been picking this. That's from the pick where I rock. It's kind of the fulcrum point. Okay, let's show the plug. Let's see. You can see the milling pretty clearly there, and other side, same thing. Come on. That's a bad pick to be using. Let's see. Here we go. We'll use some tweezers. It's not grabbing like I like. Let's see. I'm trying to get a good pick here. So actually grab it. Hear that, or it's started to get worn down. Let's look at the sidebar real quick. And did I forget anything before I do a close-up? Let's see, we got the Bible, the housing, covered the plug, showed the sidebar, showed the pins coming out. I think I'll just do a close-up. And I think that's it. So let's zoom down on this. Okay, there we go. Long video. Apologize for anybody who had to sit through this, but need to get all the detail. I think we're good. I'm trying to think if I forgot anything. I don't think I did. So yeah, this was the ASSA 6000 in barrels. I am very happy to be done with this lock. Take care.